What is going on, YouTube? I hope y'all are having a great day today. As you know, Madden 21, the free trial is going on right now. By the time this is uploaded, it may be, a little bit after that. The game would probably have come out by then. But I wanted to make this video because I noticed during the free trial, during playing, the game mechanics are so different than they were in Madden 20, giving, getting sticky and all that kind of stuff a whole new meaning. Really, the old way to do it, which was in Madden 20, for instance, if you're going to take it to the outside, right, you're sprinting around, getting jiggy with it, and then you just stop and cut back. They completely eliminated that. You can no longer do that. The pursuit angles, whether for the good or the bad, have completely changed, and there's no more hesitation move. There's no more just stop and going. In Madden 20, it was like you would stop, and when you stopped, you'd go, and your speed would just throw the defenders off, essentially. But as you can see, there's not really any doing that anymore. It's a lot more fluid and less choppy, which I have really enjoyed on defense, because as you know, last year, you literally run a stretch run to the outside with Breida or a really quick running back. You break it to the outside and you pretty much just dust everybody. But they actually made the pursuit angles on defense a lot more efficient and optimized, I guess, in this new game, which gives it a little bit more of like a realistic feel, which I enjoy. Like I said, on defense, for instance, I played a game with the Ravens, and, while you can still pick up a 20-yard gain easy almost every single play, you're not able to just break, 90-yard touchdowns every time. So let me just shut up and get into it. Let's go ahead and break down the new controls that we have. And what you'll notice is they got rid of the hesitation move right at the right stick, if that's what you're looking at. And instead, they added a dead leg and spin out of the dead leg, which is really interesting. And I'll show you guys kind of how that works right now. So in doing so, the dead leg is something you want to use like when you're out in the open field, and specifically if they have a user on you, you'll just, cut back like that, take it to the right. They got you to the left, you cut back, take it to the left. It's almost like getting sticky, but you're actually having to do a move instead of just letting go of the controller, essentially, and resuming play. Now what's dope is you can do a dead leg into a spin by just doing down on the right stick and then, swooping it right down and to the right. And that's a cool move because you can essentially, like, you're using the in-game mechanics that EA has built rather than just abusing their poor game mechanics by just letting go of the toggle and, letting the game screw itself up, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So that's something dope that they've added, I think. You have a lot more control with your right stick. You see that? You can do that spin and kind of like cut back and cancel it out, right? That's just by going down, swooping right, and then cutting it back to the left. That's another one. I mean, these will absolutely destroy users. What I'm more concerned about is that you're not going to really be able to beat the computers like that. And in that aspect, obviously Saquon's on his X factor right now, so it's not completely realistic. I think it's going to limit the amount of huge run gains and just breakout run touchdowns, which I'm honestly fine with, because honestly, towards the end of last year, as you guys know, people would just use the 49ers and all three of their quick running backs and just do these same exact stretch plays to the outside, which I think eliminates that and makes the game a little bit more realistic. Also, obviously, there's the hurdle. Saquon has his special ability where you can do a leapfrog, and that's where you won't fumble, which is nice. And there's also another move I noticed where if you hurdle once and then again, you get like a super hurdle. So I guess you can hurdle multiple people one after another in this game, which is also dope. I'm super excited to see how like everyone gets created creative with the new game mechanics, like that super hurdle or whatever, as well as, you know, these hesitation moves and getting sticky like that. I mean, that's all really dope. So I think Madden did a pretty good job with that and dumbing down the run a little bit. Maybe not dumbing it down, but what I mean to say is making it more of like a skilled position. Oh, before we actually get into some practice mode, let's cover all the bases. You got this. You can spin out of it. You can do an actual spin. This little cutback spin is still in the game, thankfully, where you actually go back on your left stick like that. And that'll full out the defense a lot of the time. We have the double hurdle now. Well, I don't know, he's going to do it because he's fatigued. And obviously the juke moves. And then I guess the the last thing I would touch on is, like, you can do like multiple dead legs in a row too. So you're not going to, like, oh no, it looks retarded, but you know, you dead leg to the left, dead leg to the right, and then you guys know how it works. You can pretty much fool a lot of users that way. Honestly, the PCs so far have not seemed to be biting on the dead legs too much, so that might be something to look out for, especially the people that like click off on defense and let their PC do the tackling. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and hop into some actual practice mode against PC users, and let's see if we can do something there. And I'll show you guys all the double moves and stuff you can do like that. I'm gonna put it in a pretty simple defense, just so, you know, I don't get shut down at the line, because I have also noticed that the defensive tackles and the defensive line actually block runs in this game and get nice block sheds, as opposed to 20 where I think the blocking was totally unrealistic on run plays. So like I said, you know, I am going to put it in an easy defense just so I can have some room to run and so we can actually execute some of these. While I think the improvements to the like jukes and stuff is real, what I've also noticed, maybe it's just with the running backs I've used so far, the stiff arm and the user truck ability have been horrible. Like, I haven't even, I've gotten like one stiff arm, I think, and one truck, and they're both just, I mean, there's multiple ways you can look at it, because last season, the user truck and the stiff arm ability, a lot of the time, it would be so, am I going to run out of speed here? They would be so, so animated, you know, he'd do the stiff arm, and he'd get him in the stiff arm for like 3 yards. And that would just essentially slow you down and let the rest of the defense catch up with you, especially with the user truck ability as well. But in this one, these stiff arms seem to be like a lot more passive and just like, you know, shoving someone off you or not actually locking in and slowing you down, which may be a good thing, but so far they've seemed pretty much useless to me. But also I've noticed a lot of sheds, I think, just depending on how your running back is and how he performs. A lot of the times you don't even have to do a move. Like, I'll just run into someone here, and a lot of the times he'll just break it or shed that tackle. But there are definitely a lot of like nifty ways to put, oh, I just said nifty, nifty ways to execute plays, like when you break open in the middle of the field, as opposed to just, you know, stopping and cutting it back out to the outside. You know, you can actually do a dead leg into a spin, into a juke to get to the outside, you know, and actually fool the PCs better that way. Let's try and get a little bit more juke action. Let's see. Jukes. That would have been nice. Like, just doing something like that, you know, and of course you'll get a lucky shed from a tackle and then break it out to the outside. But a lot of the moves, once tackled, are PC generated, so. But with that, I think that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below some other future content I should post. I nearly touch everything that my viewers tell me to do. So yeah, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.